And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and it's time to talk about the market in NBA 2K21 My Team. This is the 70th episode of Market Tips that we've done for 2K21. That's crazy. That's so many episodes. Wow. The market really is an interesting place. So this weekend, it's even more of an interesting place because there's a lot of different ways to both make MT and get cards for a lot cheaper than they normally are. So we'll start with the Beyond Level 40 steps on the road to Blake Griffin. Multiplayer Luka, and then there's like score 125, points with glitch players over multiple games. Just go play TTO with some glitch guys, Luka, and then you'll get that win 3 TTO game challenge done as well. This one you get a season rewind. I think it's like the Rockets and Pistons one, so it's like the first one. And that will tie into win a game with 13 season rewind players. Now that's the one I'm going to focus on here because there's a lot of MT to be made here. There's also like a lot of frustration to be had. Like I have 11 of the cards necessary, and like I don't even want to pay. It's going to cost me $60K or so just to get the additional 2 players, because every player is at least at the bare minimum 30K. They've all gone up by probably like 20 to 30% in price since that challenge got announced. O'Shea Brissett's one of the cheapest ones, and he's like 29K, 28 at the absolute like least. Thad Young was already kind of like expensive because he's actually pretty good. Nico Mannion is tight. Like even the opals, like Naz Reid is probably one of the cheaper opals, and he's going for 44K, which like I'm going to go ahead and sell him for that. I'll pick him up later. We're going to get like a season rewind super pack where it's just like all the season rewind guys. So at some point, the pink diamond and the opals aren't, I'm not going to say they're like going to be regular promo cheap, you know, if that makes sense. Like the opals are like 7 to 10K and the pink diamonds are 3K, but they will probably go down below 10K for the pink diamonds and then around 20 to 10K for the opals at some point. So, and I'm guessing they're going to do that towards the end of the year. That's when I'll go back and I'll fill out my all-time teams with a bunch of those guys as well. But you can make a lot of MT selling those cards now if you don't plan on doing the Blake Griffin stuff. Now, Triple Threat Online has a T-Mac event just like last year. I think last year's was an accident, but this one is on purpose. So bottom row, the only T-Mac available is the Sapphire T-Mac. I mean, there's a little bit of MT to be made off that. Not much, but some, you know, more than normal. Second row, we got Opal Inferno T-Mac, Pink Diamond Possessed T-Mac, which will show up probably more than the Diamond T-Mac because it's actually worse. And then a Gladiator pack and a Radioactive Deluxe pack. The second board is where you're going to get a lot of MT for the most part. I mean, you'll get that 300 MT like quite a bit, which is unfortunate. But if you can get a Gladiator pack, some Radioactive packs, you know, the Diamond T-Mac's not going for anything like 2,500. The Pink Diamond's probably going for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 Gs, but it's free MT. I think the Opal's the grand prize of that, and then it's going for like 15 or something. And then the top board, you got Deluxe packs, I think Gladiator Deluxe or something, and then you got both Dark Matter T-Macs. So, hey, they do not drop very often, but if they do, you're coming up hard. Doesn't matter. Even the other Dark Matter is going for a decent amount, like the Radioactive. So yeah, you can get about 800 MT for the Sapphire T-Mac, which like that's free 800 MT. It is what it is. Looks like about 4K for the Pink Diamond Tracy McGrady. I believe it quick sells for 3 Gs. So 4K with the 10% off, you're looking at about 3,600 at the most that you can get for this. But I mean, it is a free grindable card. I personally would keep that T-Mac just in case we have another like no clamps limited run or something like that, which he's imperative for that. And then Opal Inferno T-Mac, which I'm probably going to go pick this card up this weekend just for my all-time Rockets team. Who knows? I don't think we're going to need all-time teams at all for the rest of 2K21. Just a heads up, so there's really no point to stock up on like cards for certain teams in preparation for like another Spotlight Sims. I don't think we're going to see that. We will see another Domination, which they've already talked about, but I don't think it's going to require all-time teams. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Dark Matter Radioactive T-Mac is still incredibly good, especially on next gen. On current gen, I think you can do better for around the same price point, but I'll actually look how low he is in a second. But if you can come up off an Invincible T-Mac, like that's a guaranteed 3 to 500K right there. Because T-Mac's still T-Mac. People are going to pay for him. At the lowest you're probably going to sell him for 200, 250K, and that's a free 200, 250K just for playing TTO. Now, don't get it twisted. Like, TTO is sweaty. It's, like, toxic right now. You're running into multiple squads involving, like, Bull and Manute Bull and James Wiseman and Dino. Just basically 3 giants. That's what you're going to run into most of the time. Yeah, you can get T-Mac for 29K, 28K, 27.6. That is so cheap. It's absolutely worth picking up T-Mac, especially over on Next Gen. If you want to pick him up on Current, he does have that trot animation, which is kind of a problem, but he's still good. I used him on Current for a while. But on Next Gen, he's still absolutely one of the best cards you can pick up for this price. T-Mac player build and animations will do that. He has pretty much every badge, too. Most of them are gold, but he's got 41 Hoffs, too, which I know is, like, pink diamond levels at this point, but, like, T-Mac's still T-Mac. He's still good. Now, talk about limited. Like, if you're going for the ring this week, like, you can go and get a bunch of those rewind packs from last season, which, like, I'm not saying those are great, but if you're playing limited anyway, you might as well try to stock up on them. Nothing going on in Triple Threat offline at this point, but it doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the Splash Zone packs real quick. These packs. At one point last night, I pulled back-to-back Jeremy Lins. Like, that hurt my feelings. One Jeremy Lin, I was like, you know what, that sucks. It's only 20K, but back-to-back, that really hurt. Zach LaVine is definitely a slept-on card in this set, for sure, because he's a T-Mac clone. I believe he's like 6'5 or 6'6, so he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's solid. He's not a giant, and everyone's just running giants at this point, so people kind of sleep on this card. I'm shocked because I really thought Zach LaVine or Jeremy Lin was going to be the gateway card, or the gatekeeper card, that is. Yeah, I think he's 6'5 on all of his cards, yeah. But Zach LaVine's a T-Mac clone. I mean, if you're a big fan of like those T-Mac animations, that Trey Burke jumper, like, Zach LaVine's solid. He can play the point guard. I would rather play him at shooting guard personally, but he's actually not bad at the point guard either. Like, he has Zach LaVine jump shot, which is basically Trey Burke base. So he's like he's slightly different, but he's basically a T-Mac clone. Michael Porter Jr. is actually the gatekeeper card, which I'm shocked about because he's actually good. So I thought they would make him like semi-easy to pull, and then it would be like some random card that no one would want otherwise would be the gatekeeper card, like Chris Webber or Jeremy Lin or something like that. That's what I would have done if I was 2K, but it is what it is. This card is legitimately 20K. Is he worth it? I think there are point guards that you can pick up that are actually better than Jeremy Lin for 20K, for being real. I mean, he does have 57 Hoffs, which is solid. If you want like a nice, he's fun to play with. Like, I'll say that right off the bat. He's going to get abused by bigger point guards, but he's a fun card to play with. Chris Webber is actually shockingly good this year in 2K. Like, last year he was terrible. I mean, he was okay, I guess, but this Chris Webber is basically an Invincible card, and you can get him for sub 50K. Tyler Hero. Where's all my 19-year-old white guys? Stand up. Get hyped. We got a point guard, Tyler Hero. I mean, you know what you're getting into with Tyler Hero. All the opals are 7 to 8K. Like, they're all super cheap, so you might as well pick them up, you know, especially if you're running like an extreme budget squad. And Tyler Hero's pretty good. Tyrese Halliburton is definitely the best card in the opals here, but I have to admit that Tyler Hero's solid as well. Halliburton's a beast. I mean, we all know about his diamond, so shouldn't be a shock. Chris Bosh is Chris Bosh. Like, he's very okay. And he's basically the exact same as the Dark Matters. Not really too many differences. Even, like, badge count's pretty similar. Same with Kevin Porter Jr. He's basically similar to the Dark Matter as well. His Moments card. And, I mean, this card's solid. KPJ is a good card. I don't understand where people got this, like, I hate Kevin Porter Jr. thing from. He threw a bowl of soup at his coach. I love that. That's great. I wish I could do that. If I could go back in time and throw a hot bowl of soup at some of my previous employers, I would. Like, no question about it. Onyeka Okongwu, I mean, dude, he's not very good, right? But all the pink diamonds are like 3,500 MT at the most, right? And I mean, if you're building an all-time Hawks team or whatever, like, he's solid. Matisse Thybulle is actually a card I would recommend picking up, though. And the reason for that is if we have to do like a limited challenge where you have to use pink diamonds, I'm totally using Matisse Thybulle. And for steal-based challenges. If you have to get stuff done where you require steals, like Matisse Thybulle will swipe the ball a lot. He's not playing any interior defense. He's not rebounding. You don't need that from him, though. You just need him to play the perimeter, play lockdown defense, and steal the ball. He's a beast, dude. I was going to pick him up regardless, even if I didn't draw him, which was nearly impossible because he drops 1 out of 3 packs. I'm not even kidding. Marvin Bagley, I believe he's the hardest pink diamond to draw from these packs, which is saying absolutely nothing because instead of dropping 1 in 3 packs, he drops in 1 in 4, basically, so it doesn't really matter. He's similar to Kareem, like he's missing the Hoff versions of some of the shooting badges, and he doesn't have like Deadeye or like tight handles and stuff. So he's got the same weaknesses as Kareem, but he's a really good pink diamond center. JJ Redick, dude, you know what you're getting with JJ Redick. It's a sharpshooting 6'4" wing. He's playing some defense. He's shooting some threes. He is not handling the rock. Can he dunk? That's a good question. Like, I'm sure he can, because at this stage, why would you make a card that can't dunk? I mean, they let Steve Nash boom it. If they did that to JJ Redick, I'd be furious. He's got an 80 driving dunk, so he can dunk it up. That's cool. Like, I'm cool with that. That's fine. Noticing that a bunch of like the gladiator packs and stuff, by the way, all the cards from the out of position 3 set are way cheaper right now, and they're all just like still very good. Just putting that out there, because I know that it's been a couple weeks since they came out, so people think they're trash, but I promise you they are not. Power scaling hasn't gone up by that much. I apologize if I pronounced that P too hard. My bad. I just woke up, man. Leave me alone. The Invincible cards that came out in the set, like, Shaq's incredibly good, but there are some issues with him. I just generally feel like on next gen specifically, he just doesn't want to rebound the ball. I don't know what that's all about, but like I said, maybe it's just something that's happening to me. Like, let me know down in the comments if you have Shaq and you're having issues with this dude rebounding the ball. I just don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the freelance I'm running, the offensive settings. I'm not really sure, but he just won't rebound the ball. I am not having that problem with Kareem. By the way, I put a bunch of Hoff badges on him, so I'm debating. I'm going to sell him or Shaq. I do not know which one to sell. I'm probably going to sell Shaq, though, because I feel like he's going for a bit more right now, because Kareem, people are tweaking because he can't Curry slide, which, by the way, honestly, it does not matter. I've been using this Kareem card. He's an absolute monster. Like, if you're a dribble god, that's why I always get mad when people tell me that I am not correct for putting Bol in B tier, dude. If you don't play like that, the card is not that good. Like, that's just, he has one super crazy. I'm not going to put the Invincible Bol that low. I can promise you that. But, you know, it is what it is. Derrick Rose, just like Dark Matter Derrick Rose, like the retro one, is going to be the absolute first Invincible card to be a buyout. It's either him or Oscar Robertson, and I'm banking on Derrick Rose because he seems to be dropping pretty heavily from these packs. I mean, there's like one every 50 seconds to a minute up on the auction, so I will buy him immediately when he hits buy it now, because I'm a Bulls fan, dude. It's a poverty franchise. I am aware of this, but Derrick Rose is all we've had since Jordan. There was actually like a pretty good amount of Kobe's up yesterday, which was pretty interesting. Now there's only 4. So all the Kobe's have been purchased and whatever. Magic Johnson, his price actually came down, which I think is kind of silly because he's still one of the best point guards in the game. So Durant and LeBron are probably going to be the most expensive guys on here. Besides maybe Giannis. Giannis might be creeping up there. There's a lot of them up, but he's still going for like 800K. But Giannis is Giannis. You know what you're getting here. Point guard Giannis, I still personally feel is a little bit, he's not better than this Giannis, but I think that he's a little bit more valuable because he plays the point guard position. The one thing I will say is Giannis's jump shot, I don't know what it is, but it just seems difficult to green consistently off the dribble. It's really nice catch and shoot wise, but so I don't know if any of you guys have point guard Giannis and you're finding the same thing, but that's something that I feel. I don't know how universal that is though. Bol is super cheap. A lot of people sold their Bols because, you know, the new one came out and they locked in for it. So you can actually get a Bol with an unlimited contract and like Kobe Grinches for legitimately 20K or less, which I still think is super worth it, especially if you're going to go play like triple threat or something like that. Go for those T-Max, kind of grind up. Bol is still a really good card for that. I'm shocked that out of position Kobe has not hit 100K yet. Like, he has not gone to buy it now status, which I'm kind of shocked about, but we'll see. Ben Wallace is cheaper. Same with Lonzo Ball. You can get Lonzo Ball for around 50K, and I think he's one of the best value cards in the game at that point. He's an absolutely lights-out point guard. I just don't understand. It's because he came out with LaMelo and like a bunch of hyped-up cards, so it's hard to really give him the love. Speaking of which, LaMelo is super cheap right now, too. Like, if you can get him for under 150, like, that's a steal. No question about it. Is it going to be a steal for much longer? I mean, maybe not. Maybe we see LaMelo go for buy it now. It just kind of depends what 2K does. They're dropping a VC-only super pack tomorrow, no question about it. I just wonder what it's going to be. think we just got a flash one or something, right? Dino hasn't really dropped in price too much. You can still get him around 15K. A lot of these guys kind of stayed the same. Ben Wallace is down around 40 though. So super solid come up. We are getting a free point guard, shooting guard Mitch Richmond for the login reward this week, which I'm stoked about, dude. Mitch Richmond's cool, man. I'll use that card. I'll play around with him. So as always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. Let me know down in the comments if this video was helpful to you at all. So this weekend, I'm either doing the best cards under blank series or tier list, or I'm going to do a combination of both. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are feeling. And as always, check the description for all my stuff, and I appreciate all you guys who watch the channel. And like, if you haven't subscribed yet, do that, please. Peace.